Some roads do not feel like roads at all. They feel like a test of nerve, survival, and luck, where one wrong turn, one patch of ice, one broken bridge, or one wheel too close to the edge can send you into a place no rescue team can reach. Across the world, people still drive routes that cling to cliffs, disappear into mud, freeze in the wilderness, and twist through mountains like traps built by nature itself. Today, we're counting down the top 9 nightmare roads that feel impossible to survive. Stay until number 1, because the final road was carved through a vertical cliff by hand, and every opening in the rock looks straight down into the abyss. Before we begin, tell us in the comments which scares you more: cliffs, tunnels, ice, mud, or roads with no guardrails. Number 9, Dalton Highway, Alaska. On the Dalton Highway, the scariest thing is not falling off a cliff. It is realizing there may be nobody around to help you. Picture a long gravel road cutting through the frozen wilderness of Alaska. There are no bright city lights, no crowded gas stations, no houses every few miles. Just tundra, mountains, wind, snow, and a strip of road stretching toward a horizon that looks empty for hundreds of kilometers. In summer, dust rises behind trucks like smoke. In winter, ice covers the surface. Blizzards erase visibility, and the landscape becomes a white desert where the road can disappear in front of your headlights. The Dalton Highway is about 666 kilometers long and runs through some of the most isolated terrain in North America. Some stretches go more than 300 kilometers without gas stations or houses. That means if your car breaks down, the danger is not only mechanical, it becomes physical. Cold becomes the enemy. Distance becomes the enemy. Silence becomes the enemy. Temperatures can drop below -40 degrees Celsius, and strong winds or sudden blizzards can trap drivers with almost no warning. The road is famous because of isolation. If something goes wrong, you may have to wait hours or even an entire day before another vehicle passes. On this road, fear is not loud, it is quiet. It is the sound of your engine stopping in a place where nobody can hear you. For truckers and workers, the Dalton Highway is not an adventure. It is part of life and industry in Alaska. They drive through brutal conditions because supplies have to move and work does not stop. Number 8. Salang Pass and Salang Tunnel, Afghanistan. Some roads scare you with cliffs. Salang Pass scares you by putting the danger inside a tunnel. High in the Hindu Kush Mountains, the road climbs through rough terrain toward a dark opening in the rock. Vehicles crowd toward the tunnel entrance. Trucks, buses, cars, and heavy traffic squeeze into a passage where the air feels thick and heavy. Inside, headlights cut through exhaust fumes. The walls feel close, the ceiling feels low, and every driver knows that once they enter, turning back is not simple. The Salang Pass and Tunnel form a strategic route through Afghanistan's Hindu Kush Mountains. The pass sits at an altitude of around 3,400 meters, and the Salang Tunnel itself is nearly 2.7 kilometers long. Built in the 1960s, it remains an important connection. But the danger comes from the conditions. Poor ventilation allows exhaust fumes to build up. Thousands of vehicles can pass through, and the air inside can become suffocating. In winter, avalanches frequently threaten both ends of the tunnel. So the road attacks drivers in two ways: inside with fumes, outside with snow and mountain instability. In 2010, a massive avalanche buried hundreds of vehicles on this route and killed more than 150 people. That number turns Salang from a difficult road into something much darker. This is not a road where danger is theoretical. It has already swallowed people in large numbers. But Salang traps drivers in fumes and avalanches. The next road tests a different kind of endurance, hundreds of turns where the driver almost never gets to rest. From Afghanistan's tunnel of exhaust and snow, we move to China, where a mountain road coils like a dragon. Number 7. Panlong Ancient Road, China. Panlong Ancient Road looks beautiful from above, until you realize the beauty is made of more than 600 turns. From the sky, the road looks like a giant dragon carved into the mountains. It twists left, then right, then left again, folding across the slopes in endless Z-shaped turns. The road climbs through high-altitude terrain where the air is thin and the mountains stretch in every direction. Each curve opens a new view. Each view hides another turn, and the driver's hands almost never stop moving. The road is often described visually as a dragon winding through the mountains. That image is powerful because it makes the road look alive. But the same turns that make it spectacular also make it exhausting. The danger is not just one cliff. It is the repetition, turn after turn after turn, until the driver's concentration begins to fade. For visitors, Panlong is an attraction because of its unreal shape and dramatic views. For drivers, it is a test of patience and precision. It reminds us that not every dangerous road is terrifying because it looks broken. Some are dangerous because they are too demanding for too long. But if Panlong is a nightmare of endless curves, the next road is worse because mud, cliffs, and isolation combine into one brutal Himalayan journey. From China's dragon-like road, we travel to Nepal, where a short distance can take days. Number 6. Karnali Highway, Nepal. In Nepal, one highway can take 5 days to cover just 250 kilometers. The Karnali Highway hugs the slopes of the Himalayas like a thin scar carved into the mountains. Dust rises behind vehicles in the dry season. In the rainy season, the road turns into mud, forcing cars and trucks to crawl forward meter by meter. Some sections are only 2 to 3 meters wide. On one side, rough mountain walls. On the other, a drop into the abyss. There are no perfect lanes, no smooth asphalt, no comforting barriers. Just dirt, rock, mud, and the constant need to keep the wheels exactly where they must be. The Karnali Highway is one of Nepal's most dangerous roads. But unlike a tourist road, this highway is vital for remote villages. Food, fuel, medicine, and basic supplies depend on it. Every year, more than 100 lives are lost in accidents along this kind of abyss-threatened route. It is a place where people die. Number 5. Skipper's Canyon Road, New Zealand. Skipper's Canyon Road is so dangerous that driving it can void your rental car insurance. On Skipper's Canyon Road, the danger is as clear as the drop beside you. A narrow road cuts into the cliffs above the shot of a river. The canyon drops steeply beside the road. The surface is tight, rough, and unforgiving. In places, there is barely enough room for one vehicle, let alone two. The turns are sharp. The visibility is poor. The cliffs press close on one side, while the river lies far below on the other. It is beautiful in the way dangerous places are beautiful. Skipper's Canyon Road is about 22 kilometers long and was carved directly into the cliff in the 19th century during the gold rush. Since then, it has barely been widened. Many sections are only about 2 to 3 meters across. Drivers may not see oncoming vehicles until it is too late. The road demands calm nerves and precise control. There is no room for arrogance here. A driver who thinks skill alone is enough may discover too late that the road does not forgive confidence. But Skipper's Canyon still feels controlled compared to the next road, where the cliff is so close that one wheel can hang over empty space. From New Zealand's Gold Rush Canyon, we move to Pakistan, where a mountain road leads toward one of the most feared peaks on Earth. We're halfway through, and every road so far has a different kind of fear. Isolation, fumes, endless curves, mud, and cliffs. Which one would you refuse to drive? Drop your answer before we reach number 1. Number 4. Fairy Meadows Road, Pakistan. Fairy Meadows Road has one of the most beautiful names in the world and one of the most terrifying drives. In Pakistan's Karakoram Range, the road stretches like a thin line carved into a vertical mountainside. Below it is a deep abyss. Above it are towering rock faces. There are no guardrails to comfort you, no wide shoulders, no clean pavement, just loose gravel, narrow turns, and the sound of tires grinding over stone while the vehicle crawls forward. The terrifying part is the lack of guardrails. Here, there may be nothing between the vehicle and the drop, just driver skill, local knowledge, and luck. Local drivers are the real heroes of this road. They know the turns, the dangerous edges, and the moods of the mountain. The reward is one of the most breathtaking mountain views in the world. But to earn it, travelers must first ride along a road that looks like it should not exist. The road reminds us that beauty often has a gatekeeper, and sometimes that gatekeeper is fear. But even Fairy Meadows is not the road most famous for death. The next one earned a name that needs no explanation. From Pakistan's cliffside path, we moved to Bolivia, where one road became known worldwide as Death Road. Number 3, North Yungas Road, Bolivia. This road did not earn the nickname Death Road by accident. Imagine dark, fog-covered passes and deep tropical valleys. This road did not earn the nickname Death Road by accident. North Yungas Road clings to the mountains between high passes and deep tropical valleys. Fog slides across the route. Rain darkens the surface. Waterfalls pour directly onto the road. The cliff edge appears suddenly, sometimes only a few feet away. At some points, the road feels like a ledge scratched into the side of the mountain. Below it, the valley drops away. Above it, clouds and rock close in. The scenery is breathtaking. That is part of the problem. It is hard to believe a place so beautiful can be so deadly. North Yungas Road in Bolivia is about 60 to 70 kilometers long, with altitudes ranging from around 1,200 meters to 4,600 meters. Its highest point is La Cumbre Pass at roughly 4,650 meters. The source notes that 200 to 300 people once died every year on North Yungas Road. Those numbers are almost hard to process. It was a road where death became part of its reputation. Today, a newer route has replaced much of the traffic, but the old Death Road still attracts thrill seekers. For people who once depended on this road, it was not entertainment. It was a necessary connection through impossible terrain. Drivers had to fight fog, rain, cliffs, waterfalls, and fear. It remains a reminder that some infrastructure is born from necessity. But Death Road became famous because of its cliffs. The next road forces drivers into a psychological battle. From Bolivia, we move to the Himalayas, where one narrow pass can turn 2 trucks into a life or death decision. Number 2, Zoji La Pass, India. On Zoji La, the question is not always how to move forward. Sometimes the question is who has to reverse beside the abyss. High in the Himalayas, the road narrows to a rough mountain track between rock walls and open drops. The average width can be only about 3 meters, barely enough for one lane. Now imagine 2 trucks meeting face to face. One cannot pass, one must reverse. But reversing means moving backward along a road with no guardrails, sharp edges, and loose ground. A deep abyss is waiting beside the wheels. Snow, fog, and landslides can turn the situation from difficult into terrifying. Zoji La sits at an altitude of about 3,528 meters in the Himalayas. The road connects important regions across dangerous mountain terrain. It is narrow, exposed, and frequently threatened by weather. In winter, temperatures can drop to around -20 degrees Celsius. Blizzards and landslides may occur, sometimes erasing or blocking sections of the road overnight. The danger is not only physical, it is psychological. The most disturbing situation on Zoji La is the standoff. 2 large vehicles approach each other on a road wide enough for only one. One driver must back up. Forward or backward becomes a test of nerve. For locals, impossible is sometimes the only road available. Drivers who travel it regularly develop a kind of mountain instinct, knowing when to yield and how to judge distance with frightening precision. But Zoji La was shaped by mountains and weather. Number 1 is different. It was carved into a vertical cliff by villagers using their own hands. For number 1, we go to China's Taihang Mountains. Number 1 is Guoliang Tunnel Road, a road carved through a vertical cliff by hand, built not by giant machines, but by 13 villagers who refused to remain isolated. Instead of waiting for someone else, the villagers began cutting a road through the cliff using primitive tools. People needed access, they needed survival, so they carved through stone, by hand. Guoliang Tunnel Road was carved in the 1970s by 13 villagers from Guoliang. The village had been isolated by the surrounding mountains, and connection to the outside world was difficult and dangerous. Instead of waiting for someone else to solve the problem, the villagers began cutting a road through the cliff using primitive tools and human effort. It was created from necessity. People needed a way out. So they carved through stone, by hand. The road is only wide enough for one car in many areas. There are no comforting guardrails or wide safety pull-offs. The cliff windows, while visually stunning, reveal the drop outside with brutal honesty. Today, travelers see it as an extreme driving experience. But before it became famous, it was an act of survival. Village decided that being trapped was no longer acceptable. The world's nightmare roads are not frightening for one reason. Some terrify us with cliffs, some with ice, some with isolation, some with mud, tunnels, avalanches, or blind curves that leave no room for mistakes. But the most powerful thing about these roads is not only the danger, it is the fact that people still use them. For travelers, they are extreme adventures. For locals, they are lifelines. For drivers, they are tests of patience, skill, and nerve. Which road haunted you the most? Would you dare to drive Fairy Meadows, Skipper's Canyon, Death Road, Zoji La, or Guolyang Tunnel Road? Let us know in the comments, and subscribe for more cinematic rankings. In the next video, we'll explore the scariest tunnels in the world, places where the road disappears into darkness, and turning back may no longer be an option.